Exactly. Hello, Boozeketeers. It's Tuesday night, and I'm Tiki King, and you're the audience. You're the Boozeketeers, and that means that it's Cocktales with Tiki King, episode 117, if my math is correct, which usually is not, but that's okay. I'm basing that on the fact that I went back through, and I was trying to upload and catch up on uploading everything to YouTube, because I'm like, I don't know, 15 episodes behind or something on uploading them. But in doing that, I noticed that my chronology was completely out of whack. I believe I said it was episode 113 when it was episode 115, and yeah, it was all crazy. But because I labeled them all, and I went back and took a look and checked it out, I'm fairly confident that this is episode 117. Yes, 117 episodes. Why? No one knows. So what are we doing tonight? And I know I ask that every week, and I probably should just not, because you can't answer me, and I'm not going to answer me. Nobody. Why do I ask that question? I don't know. So what we're doing tonight is talking about stuff, talking about booze, talking about the different things that interest me in my time of need, of needing booze. And one of them. So this just doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Whilst at the supermarket today, I came upon a product which I am neither sponsored nor endorsed by said product, but it intrigued me nonetheless, and it is called Whiskey Elements Signature 100% Natural Better Whiskey in 24 Hours. And it's a product that is basically chunks of wood that have been charred, and this particular one is oak. And it says guaranteed, that if you put it in your bottle of booze, it will improve the flavor. You put it in your whiskey primarily. It says, because this is, after all, whiskey elements. But it says that you can put this in your bottle of whiskey, and that it will. It has some things it says that it'll do. It will improve flavor, remove toxins, and accelerate aging. Now, I don't know if it'll work. I don't know nothing about it. But what I do know is I bought some, and I stuck it in yonder bottle of affordable booze. And this is some American bourbon, which is not known for its extreme price. But it says here that if you have a half gallon, you should put 2 of them in there. So I did, and those are in there right now, floating about. We'll see what happens. It says that 24 hours, you get smooth. It gets smoother and more flavor. 48 hours, smoother and full flavor. And 72 hours, extra smooth and full body. Basically, so there is science. That's a fact. There is science. And the science of the matter is that this is wood. And putting wood in alcohol, the alcohol is going to leach some things out of the wood. Mostly sugars and oils and resins, which are exactly what happens when you put a bunch of booze into a barrel. Okay. Now, these are charred on the outside and in the grooves and stuff. I'm not sure. Now, this is the skeptical part. I'm not sure what that's going to do really, because the thing when you char a barrel, when you're distilling, say you're in your basement and you distill up a thing of moonshine, and then you put it in a barrel, right? But that barrel you've already toasted, right? You stuck it over the flames and you burned it. So the inside is charcoal. The inside of the barrel. So what happens is when you're storing that booze in that barrel, basically it's charcoal filtering somewhat. So, but that's because you have a whole boatload of surface area going on. Now, a barrel, like a distillery barrel, they're huge. I don't know if people think, so people who see barrels, they think, okay, like what they're thinking of is like, I don't even know what that is. It's not even a barrel, but like 50 gallon. But a barrels, distilling barrels are huge. They're huge. But then I thought, okay, well, these things, I didn't do the math. I probably should have done math, but I didn't. The surface area of one of these, as opposed to how much booze is in one of those jugs, might work out. There might be math. Might be might be science and stuff. It may be something. I don't know. What I do know, and here's the fact. Here's the thing. Boozeketeer Lucky makes his own booze. He does well, not in the legal sense, but just in the figurative sense. He did some batches of hobbyist distilling, which is completely legal in my mind. But what he does is I happen to have a specimen that I stole from him because he was in drunken stupor, and it has, strangely enough, it has a little chunk in there that's a dead ringer for what's in this package. Yeah. So he's got a little chunk of wood in there floating about the place with that's charred on the outside. And I will say, I sampled some of this booze once I was at Boozeketeer Lucky's house, and I was pleased with the results. So I'm thinking, give it a try. We'll see. We'll try it, and after 24 hours and 48 hours and 72 hours, and I'd like to say I'll give a full report, but more than likely I'll be drunk, so who knows. But anyway, that's just stuff. That's just some stuff that happened today. And I thought it was interesting. I thought maybe you Boozeketeers might want to know. Oh, you're pointing.
Gun on the floor.
Oh, did the pirate lose his gun?
Yes.
Holy moly! And then the phone ring. Ah! It's crazy. There's mayhem going on, of some sorts. You keep your gun.
Okay.
Okay. So now that we're done with the sciencey portion of our show, we can move right along into the meat and potatoes and the gravy, because I like that. So for tonight's episode, I decided to make a classic cocktail. A classic. How classic, you might ask? I don't know. It goes back a ways. I know it goes back as far as the 20s. And one of the reasons I know that is because I looked in some books, and I looked in so there was a bunch, but I narrowed it down to so we have the Modern American Drinks, which is this was published in 1900. This does not contain a recipe for tonight's drink. So, not that that's definitive proof that it didn't exist, but not in there. However, the Bartender's Bible, which we've referred to before, published in 1937, does, in fact, contain a recipe for tonight's drink. So, I figure the 20s, I've read some history on tonight's drink, and they talk about a lot of ways how it could have come out of the 20s, but there's no provenance. I could not find any definitive proof of when it was invented, but we're going to say 20s because, roaring, because it fits. It suits the whole...
Sorry about that.
That's all right. It suits the whole sort of timbre of the drink. What is this drink, you may ask? I know, you've all been waiting. Except for the people who went and did the spoilers to see what it was. You aren't waiting at all. Just in time, too, because I finished my other drink. Tonight's drink is called the Pink Lady. The Pink Lady, that's right, And it's a funny thing, the Pink Lady. So we're going to make... what we'll do is I'll make one, and then I'll talk, and then I have two different recipes that we're going to be doing tonight for the same drink. And then there's even a third recipe, which I can't make because I don't have one of the ingredients, but that's okay. One of these I've tried extensively, and one I have not tried. So we're gonna go with the one I've tried already, and then I'm going to talk about the one I haven't tried as well as another one that's out there in the ethers. So the Pink Lady, it's a pretty simple drink. It is not, we've been doing a lot of these formulas which are booze, sweet, sour, that whole thing. This one is not one of those. This is a little different recipe. It calls for shaker, half filled with ice. It's kind of our touchstone. It's kind of what it all goes back to. That shaker, half filled with ice. It's the, it's the thing. I don't know what thing that is, but it is. Okay, so shaker, half filled with ice. Recipe number one, Pink Lady. We're going to go with 2 ounces of gin. And tonight we're going to be using some Bombay Sapphire, clocking in at 90 proof. Wait. No. Let's go back. Tonight we're going to be using Bombay Sapphire gin, clocking in at 94 proof. A couple of reasons. I actually recently bought a bottle of St. James No. 3, which is really good, but it has a pretty forward botanical profile. Now, the Bombay Sapphire, not that it doesn't, but it's a lot smoother of a gin than some. So we're going to start out with 2 ounces of Bombay Sapphire. Half ounce of cream. And in comes the pink. 1/4 ounce of grenadine. And I'm using Cocktales grenadine. It's one of those things, grenadine, that could be almost a whole show. Because there's a lot of different kinds of grenadine. Probably the most common is going to be roses, which is it's good. I grew up with that stuff. It's fine. But this one, Cocktail Artist, this one's kind of a mid-grade. A little better than some, not as good as others, but it's going to work for what we're doing tonight. So, that's all it is. 2 ounces of gin, half ounce cream, 1/4 ounce of grenadine. We'll probably want a glass to drink out of. Give it a good shake. Get our garnish ready here. Now that's pretty pale. The last time I drank Pink Ladies, they were a bit more pink. I might have had a different recipe. I don't remember. Garnish that with a nice red maraschino cherry. I could use a Luxor in this, but Luxor, different color, different profile, different thing altogether. So we're going to go with just the standard one because I think aesthetically it's pleasing. So here we go with my first Pink Lady in approximately, it's been a while, probably 16 years. No, more than that. Probably 20 years. So the Pink Lady. The Pink Lady. It's like I said, this is not my first one, and it will probably not be my last because I'm making 2. But this is a deceptive cocktail. This cocktail, do you want to give it a try? Producer Maggie? Yeah? It's a little unusual, but it's kind of it's its own thing. Some people like them, some people don't. I happen to like them. In fact, I think the first ones that I had a little more grenadine, like I said, though. But I'll tell you, it's also, I guess you have to like gin, because it is just definitely a gin forward drink, but it's also deceptive in drinkability, because it would not be hard to drink that really fast and order another one, or if you happen to be in a home bar, to drink like 10 of them in a very short period of time, and then later be found holding a grapefruit. But yeah, so the Pink Lady. This is I don't know if this is it's not necessarily embarrassing, but the Pink Lady gave me probably one of the worst hangovers I've ever had. And not because it's a bad drink. It's not like, it's not like there's some boozes out there that, that just taste like candy. And so you drink them and they're high proof and they cause you a problem. Just like I said, because of the sheer ease of the drinkability of this, I happened to, like I said, I drank a whole bunch in a very short period of time, and things kind of went south on me. And it's funny because this was like I said, it was quite popular in the 20s and 30s. There were several Hollywood starlets who claimed that the Pink Lady was their drink of choice, and that they were they became sort of known for it. It kind of got a reputation as being a girl drink back in the later era. But the funny thing, here's the funny thing to me, is that it actually, I believe, Esquire magazine called it one of the 10 worst cocktails. And the thing is, I don't think they appreciated one of the aspects of cocktails that, not everything has to be complicated and hard to drink. Sometimes you can have something that's just sweet and smooth and easy to go down, and it gets you in trouble. And saying, oh, it's a girl drink, it's weird because that somehow denotes some sort of weird, like, it's not strong, which that's a weird thing. There's people say that about tiki cocktails. Oh, frou-frou drinks. Oh, you're that kind of a man. It's like, you want to talk about being wouldn't say a man, but you want to prove your boozing mettle. I'll tell you, Trader Vic's Mai Tai, man. It's pretty much the martini of tropical drinks. It's just about all booze. There's no juice in it. Well, lime juice, a little bit, but. But I'll tell you, this is the sort of drink that, yeah.
Aaron Shaw's live now.
Oh. Aaron Shaw is apparently playing bagpipes for those of you who don't like cocktails. He's out there playing some sort of a song on his porch.
Yep.
That's right. You go squeeze your bag, man. We're busy drinking. But yeah, it's funny. So, like I said, this is one, don't mess with it. Enjoy it. Respect it. Because, she's a cruel mistress. That Pink Lady. That's one of the reasons that I know better. That's the reason I'm not doing all 3 recipes. I'm going to do 2 recipes. And I'll talk about the 3rd recipe. So, first recipe, this is the one that I knew and that I drank in the 821. 2 ounces of gin, half ounce of cream. This is a 1/4 ounce of grenadine. I think we did a half ounce of grenadine because I remember them being a lot more pink and a lot more sweet. But this is the accepted recipe. Now the next one we're getting into, the Pink Lady number 2, actually predates this one. And this is back. I'm not sure exactly what the deal was, but this one calls for egg whites. And there's a lot of drinks that, a lot of older cocktails, whiskey sour is one, and the Pink Lady here is another one, but that call for egg whites. And that fell out of favor for a few reasons, one of them being that people got all freaked out about raw eggs. But something I can tell you is that the reason people freak out about raw eggs is because of salmonella. The reason you get salmonella is from dirty eggs, not from what is inside the egg. There's no salmonella in the egg. The salmonella is on the outside of the egg. So you can do a couple things. If you're freaked out about it, one good workaround is you can buy cartons of pasteurized egg whites. If you want to go with your classic cocktail, you want to make it the way that nature intended, that God and man fought so hard to perfect. Yeah. You can get jugs of pasteurized egg whites and not worry about it. I did not worry about it, and I just cracked an egg into this here shot glass and scooped out the yolk. So that's right. Throwing caution to the wind, where it will inadvertently fly in the back window and land on the passenger. So, Pink Lady number 2. Very similar, but this one calls for less gin. 1 ounce of gin. One egg white. In it goes. And 1/4 ounce grenadine. Now this is going to be smaller drink right off the bat because, you know, an ounce less booze. But that's okay. It's, you know, it's the way things are. It's life in the it's the tragic it's the brutal beauty of nature. I could use another glass, but I don't know. Maybe I should. I don't know. It's science. I guess I'll use a clean glass. It's got some remodeling dust on it. Yeah, I can hear myself. Ooh, look at that. Frothy. It's frothy. Get in there. See, neither one of these are nearly as pink as the Pink Ladies that I made, you know, back when that was a thing. But this is the first time I've tried one with the egg whites. So we're going to get out of there. You bastards. There we go. Ah! Garnish. Get on my sword, you garnish. There we go. Alrighty. Pink Lady number 2, egg white version. Look at that froth. Look at that beautiful froth. Oh, it's quite nice, don't you think? It's frothy beautifulness of these Pink Ladies for drinking, yes. Now that one's slightly more creamy, strangely enough, because it doesn't have any cream. But the emulsification of the egg white. Yes, that's where it went. That's what happened. There goes the cat. Bye, Bonsai. As far as what I would say the overall relationship, the illicit relationship between the gin and grenadine, neither diminished nor embarrassed by the addition of the egg white. Changed slightly. For the better or worse, who can say? Not me. Well, no, I can say that. Changed for better or worse. I can say that, but I can't make a judgment on it. You know, I feel somewhat more sophisticated drinking the raw eggs because it makes me feel like sort of a strange literary version of Rocky. You know, when he was chugging down the eggs, you know, to build up his strength. I feel like I'm chugging down booze to build up my drunkenness. And I'm going to, you know, in the end, I'm going to fall down the stairs. And it'll be like Eye of the Tiger. It'll be awesome. See, I keep doing it. I don't know why. It's good. This one? You want to try this one for comparison? Like I said, it's definitely creamier. Dog wants cream.
What are you doing?
Go that way.
Come here. Come outside.
Oh, animals. Filthy animals.
Come on.
Apparently she didn't like my review of the egg white Pink Lady. Yeah, that one's a different. Isn't it? It's amazing how the
This
difference.
one's better.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I said, my experience is always with the cream. Now here's the thing. Ho ho ho. Yeah, bring it around, baby. Bringing it around. Now, there's a reason that I did it this way. Is because these are two very different recipes. One calling for cream, one calling for egg white. Now, here's the thing. After the 20s, but before the modern age that we like to call it, there was a third recipe which called for both cream and the egg white. Yeah. But the thing is, I didn't want to make that one because then how would we know? We'd have to. I figured by the third, by the third one, what am I? I'm not gonna know nothing. But that's the thing, is maybe, the addition of those two, the emulsifier and the creaminess of the cream, could have been a whole different thing. I don't know. We'll save that one for another show. Pink Lady Revisited. We'll give it a try. See what happens with that. All I can say is, it's as good now as it was, whatever that was, 19 years ago, when it seemed important to hold a grapefruit. Yeah, I say, hey, if you like gin, you do. This is actually, I would say, as far as gin drinks go, pretty subtle. It's the Brandy Alexander is another one that was basically the same drink, only instead of grenadine, you're putting in cream to cocoa. Same sort of thing, though. I believe there's a Brandy Alexander recipe calling for cream and one for egg whites. So, booze, egg whites. That's a whole nother. See, we have the sweet, sour, strong, and weak, and now we have the booze, egg whites, cream, sweet. I don't know. What does that mean? Is it something? Maybe. I don't know though. I don't know what it means. I never know what any of this stuff means. But we're going to say that the egg white version is the overall winner of tonight's theme song challenge. I can hear it in my head. I know you guys can't, but I can. That's what's important. So, hey, did any of you guys were you sober enough to watch us in the Utah Scottish Association live stream? We had a good time doing that. We previously had gone up to the abandoned zoo in Griffith Park down in Los Angeles, and we recorded some songs, and we did a live stream and played those songs and had a good time. And a bunch of you I know were joined in there and watched it with us. You watched us watching us talking about us, which is some self-referencing, but that's okay. Hey, get back up there. Thought things seemed a little. Lighting was kind of harsh. Yeah, so we had a good time there at the virtual Utah Scottish Games, first of its kind as far as I know, and I think that everybody involved had a good time, and hopefully we'll never have to do it again, only because hopefully all this COVID nonsense will be over. But if we do, we know how to do it now, so it'll be seamless. It'll be more seamless than it was, which means there will be no seam at all, and we'll be trapped forever on the outside edge, looking. Where's the seam? There isn't one. But that was going somewhere. Oh, that was going to. We still we don't know what's going to happen. You Wicketingers fans, maybe we'll see you sometime. Maybe we'll see you next year. Who knows? But you can always go to wicketingers.com and take a look at what's going on there. But hey. You can also go to tikiking.com, go to the booze portal, tikiking.com/booze, and there's links to stuff. You can buy Boozeketeer's gear. You can look up drinks. These drinks are up there on the booze portal. You can go to the Tiki King cocktail database and find all the recipes I've had. Some requests, people say, well, where can we find the delicious recipes, the drinks for these? Okay, take two. I've had a few people ask me, where can we find the recipes for these delicious drinks and more? And I've said, what you can do is go to the Tiki King cocktail database, where there is a plethora of knowledge and a modicum of humor. So all the drinks that we make on the show are up there somewhere, generally in some form or another. There is a spot that is there's two, actually there's a new one that I put up recently that is the Tiki King Originals. If you want to try cocktails that I have invented, those are up there. There's the drinks made on the Cocktales of Tiki King show, which is pretty much everything that has been on the show. There's a lot of ones that aren't up there that are, you know, Trader Sam's drinks or proprietary drinks from different places that we've gone to. But yeah, all the drinks that I've made, I'm pretty sure are up there. So if you want to, you know, have a drink and pretend you're on the show, go to it. There's your information. So there you go, Boozeketeers. I hope to, when all this nonsense is over, I hope to see you all in your natural habitat at some point out there on the road. I know we're Boozeketeer Chad from Frankie's. How about that? He's actually in Frankie's, I believe. He's enjoying a cocktail there in Frankie's. They opened up last week ago Wednesday, I think. Different places are opening up now with different levels of social distancing. So whether you can go in or whether you have to get curbside service, don't forget to support your local tiki bar, because you know these are tough times. We could all use a drink, baby. That's right. So there you go, Boozeketeers. I'm Tiki King, and there's not a lot of reason for that except for the hat. But no. So yeah, there. That's all. So thanks for joining in tonight. Thanks for watching the Cocktales Tiki King program, episode 117. And we'll hopefully see you all next week when we'll do other things. Yeah, we'll do those other things. So until then, I hope that all your drinks are delicious. With that, I say good night and good drinking.